Hey everyone, it's Heather back again at my new lathe. So the other day I was on the World Wide Woodturners website. That's worldwidewoodturners.org, O-R-G. And I found this video from about a year ago, and Cade Bolger was doing a demo on making hair sticks and his dyeing process. Now if you haven't seen any of Cade Bolger's work, I suggest you look him up. He's an excellent wood turner and he's been teaching and doing demos around the world. And he comes from Ontario. He's only a few hours away from me. I've never met him, but one of these days we will cross paths. So I decided to make a few of these hair sticks, or try and imitate them. Now in the video, he used maple, and I think it was like a quilted maple or a figured maple of some kind. I didn't have any of that, but I do have lots of oak. So this piece started out as a 2x2 oak, and to get the most out of it, I actually split it in 4. So it turned out to be a little less than 1-inch square pieces. So here I'm just marking out a 7-inch length. That'll be the final length. I find most of my hair sticks that I sell, they're to people with long hair. So you want the longer stick for longer hair. So I'm just rounding it out here with the spindle roughing gouge. It works great for hogging out lots of material. So here I'm just using the skew to mark the parted end off. I'm not cutting it right off, I'm just defining where the end will be. Now I know a lot of people don't like using a skew, but when I first got my very first lathe, the very first tool I used was my skew. At that point, I didn't know that people didn't like using a skew, but I really like it. It gives a really nice finish if you use it as the last tool over your spindles. It works great. So you saw me use a wrench for sizing. I'm using a 10mm at the top end. They work great for repeatability. If you want to make a set, you want them to be the same size or very, very close. So I find the wrench works great. So here I'm just redefining the end of the hair stick again. So these lines you see are for a little bit of a decoration on the top that I'm going to put in. I'm making these the same as the ones that Cade did in the video. It's going to be a little ball on the top and what looks like a little finger bone in the middle. So with using a skew, you get a nice finish on this hair stick, so you don't really need to do a lot of sanding. So I'm going to just show you a little bit of that and skip over the rest, because sanding is boring. So in Cade's video, he did his hair sticks to look like flames, and they looked really awesome. The maple really made the flame pop. Now this is oak, so it won't be the same. And nothing is ever the same. When you have two pieces of wood, even side by side, they're not going to be the same, no matter what, because the grain is always different. So here I am adding red. Yeah, I know it looks like it's pink, but it's actually red. It's just the difference in the video, I think. But so I'm just adding the red. I put it on, and I'm going to let it dry. Now I suggest you don't leave the lathe spinning when you put this on, because you will get lines. You'll see here when I'm almost done adding the red, I go back and run it on lengthwise, but you'll get little round circular lines on your hair stick or piece of wood when you're done. So once the stain is dry, you come back with a 400 grit sandpaper and you sand off most of it. This leaves just the ink in the grain of the wood. There, my hand's in the way. And yeah, I suggest you wear gloves because you don't want to get this stuff all over your hands. So running the sandpaper over it right now, it takes the top layer of the stain off, but it stays deeper in the grooves, especially with the oak. It has a lot of deeper grooves in it. So the stain for the red stayed in there. You can see it showing up now as almost stripes. And then when I go over it with another color, as you'll see in a moment, it stays on the top. So now I'm just adding a yellow to make it look a little more like a flame color. Have I mentioned how much I like my variable speed on this new lathe I have? I can turn it right down to 0, make it stop, or speed it right up. It's just awesome. I love it. So at this point, I'm thinking that I need a little bit more red in this because it looks more yellow than red. So I go back, I compare it to the one I have made already, and I go back and add a little more red. It looks a little better. What do you think? Don't forget to leave comments. I try and answer all of them. And also give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if you feel so inclined. But let me know why. So I'm just going to apply some clear gloss Rust-Oleum finish on here. I like how it finishes. It goes on quick and dries fast. So I give it about 2 or 3 coats of this. and let it dry nice and hard. And as most of my videos end, I forgot to take it off the lathe, or forget to show you how I take it off the lathe, but I just cut the ends off, touch the tips with sandpaper, and dab a little more stain on the ends, and done. Thanks for watching.